How are we doing, F1 fans? Welcome to an F1 Manager 22 video, and today we're going to look at the best time to send out your drivers during qualifying. Now, a few people have asked me in comments on previous videos, when is the best time to send out your drivers in qualifying? There is a little kind of cheat sheet which can help. I also just wanted to show off that after my practice video, I did have 100% and 97% confidence on my cars. So it's definitely well worth you sort of putting in the time in practice to get the setup, because the drivers get a driver boost, performance boost. Not that you need it with Verstappen and Norris and Red Bull, but hey, there you go. One thing to make sure as well though, I did say in the practice videos, make sure you change your engines to save and use like a rubbish engine during practice, and then make sure you use your more powerful engines during qualifying and the race. Obviously you want to have a better pace through those two. Not worrying too much about quali. So we will quickly stick those on to both cars. As you can see, I'm running like an engine into the ground and then having some engines that are ready for race pace, which will hopefully give me slightly better chances of winning. Although I do have obviously the Red Bull, which is pretty easy at the moment. So again, we'll get the good parts onto the cars. And now, the best thing to do with qualifying, So, make sure you're on, obviously, the one lap flying run. You want as little fuel as possible, because you don't really want that extra weight on your car, especially if you're kind of middle of the road kind of cars. Let's go to start qualifying and we'll manage. Now, I will quickly show you one way of doing qualifying.
Radio check.
Is quickly send your drivers out straight away. Let them come out of the garage one at a time, but you will see other cars will also do the same. And the other bad thing, if you do simulate round, we'll quickly zoom round, you may run into traffic. Now, a track like Zandvoort, you do not want to be running into traffic. Alex Albon is obviously at the opposite end of the straight. Could be a little bit tight for traffic. Someone else is just coming out the pit lane. Max Verstappen here will probably run straight into Esteban Ocon on his pit exit. He may just get him. He does not. So, Verstappen's lap time will be compromised because he is stuck behind Esteban Ocon. As you can see, he has gone past him now. However, his lap time compared to Lando, if Lando doesn't catch Alex Albon, or if he does catch him at a good time, we'll wait and see. He gets stuck behind him too. So both lap times will be pretty bad. Some people say to me, is it best to send your driver out straight away? Yes and no, depending on which car you're using, which track you're at. You can see there, Verstappen actually seems to have done okay with his lap, but Lando Norris getting stuck behind Alex Albon really compromised his lap. I'm half a second down on Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen obviously might have done just okay. Now, there is a little cheat sheet to this. Let's just reconfigure. I will stay on the same set of softs. Sometimes you do have to reconfirm it just so that you're ready for the run. It's just the refueling, I would imagine. Now, when you go onto your drivers, if you click the L3 button, so the left stick, if you click it in, or click on the info button, you can see here, you've got the track grip, which is that orange line. The orange line is obviously the grip of the track. The higher that line, the more grip, the slightly faster your lap time will be. You've got expected traffic. Now, that is the kind of white peaks and valleys. As you can see, these sort of dots at the bottom of that graph are every 1 minute. So every 1 minute that goes through, that is the expected traffic on track. As you can see, when you get to about 16, which is sort of 2 minutes from the end, the traffic spikes up. That's when everyone is probably going to be going out for their last run. So everybody will be on track doing that. That is the worst time to go out. Right now, you can see the traffic's kind of quite low. You've got to take into account a lap time for an out lap, a qualifying lap. You don't really care about the cool down lap. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send out Max Verstappen now. If I look over to Lando Norris, I may look to send him out in a couple of minutes' time. Let's just see how Max Verstappen gets on with his traffic. We'll see if he runs into any trouble. We sent him out when the traffic was due to be quite low. He looks okay so far. Nobody coming out the pit, so he's going to get a very clean lap. That'll be perfect for Max. That'll probably be arguably the fastest lap that he is possibly able to do. With Lando, currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then we'll be kind of on the downwards path there. So I might wait 4 minutes and send him out so he's out ahead of everybody else. Let's just see how Max is getting on with his lap. We'll zoom him round to the finish line. He's, what, 0.183 off of Leclerc, and now he goes 0.3 faster. So just by analysing the traffic, the expected traffic, that is exactly like the key moment to send him out there was when the traffic was really low. There's sort of 2 or 3 cars on track. He gets it nice and easy. For Lando, the only negative is when you do fast forward, you do lose the ability to click on the driver. If you go to ×4, can you get it on ×4? Oh, you can. That's okay. So every time you press square to change the time, it will disappear. So Max is coming in for his sort of cooldown lap. Traffic is due to be quite high at the moment. You've got a couple more cars looking to edge their way out. What I will do with Lando is look to see if I can send him out in just a moment. We'll zoom that forward just a bit more. I'm going to send him out when the next 1 minute ticks over. As soon as that graph moves along there we go, let's send him out. And that hopefully will send him out, not into traffic. He's on his outlap. He's got a few cars around him. He's not looking too bad. Now, hopefully, the cars in front will kind of either move out the way. So we've got Lance Stroll coming through. You can also tactically be a pain in the butt for everybody, like your kind of competitors. I think I've actually sent him out at the exact wrong time, Lando Norris here. A lot of people came into the pits there. He's going to go round, see what his lap time is. Does improve a little bit. Still a second off the pace. Not great. Now, the other option, which is my favourite option, to be honest, is send your car out last. As long as you're not on a track like Austria, Zandvoort's a little bit short as well. However, if you send your driver out on a short lap, you might get in trouble. What I'll do with Lando is I'm going to quickly try and send him back out of the back of the grid here. He might not make the cut. It's 1:08 for a lap time. Max is going to be safe. If you send them out of the back, you know you're not going to run into traffic. Lando might not make the cut here, and he won't. So he won't actually make a lap. But the other option is send your driver out last. It works really well during Q3 because during Q3, if you make it, obviously, if you're a good team or a higher up team, or you're a lower team and you've outperformed yourself, getting into Q3 is quite simple. We are going to send Max out first thing. We'll time 16 quickly. We'll send them both out for a quick lap. Just get them round early on. I want to get to Q3 just to show you how it works. Both of them not running into any traffic, so actually it's worked out perfectly that time. Verstappen maybe getting a slight toe off of Esteban Ocon. He's kind of close-ish to him. Maybe getting a little bit of slipstream. We won't send out either driver here again, so we'll quickly zoom through to the end of this session. Like I said, the other option, if you're in the pack and you're not sure if you're going to make the cut, definitely consider sending yourself out last, because the AI sends out all the other drivers, and they usually end up with a good 30 to 40 seconds from the last person crossing the line to the end of the session. So you know that once the last driver has kind of gone past your garage, if you send your car out, if you're close enough, you might get a little tow, as long as you're not behind like an Aston Martin or a Williams maybe. Obviously be smart as to who you're going to come out behind. You could go into the middle of the pack to try and get a slipstream off of people. Again, you're not going to get traffic. We should be fine to get through here. But sending yourself out last in Q3, which is what I'm going to do very shortly, this will show you exactly how simple it is to kind of get the strategy right during quali. Now, I'm not going to send them out at all until dead last, okay? So what I'm going to do is make sure we've got a fresh set of softs on Verstappen. I've accidentally pressed send out on Lando. Lando can do a lap early on. No one else is going to come out too early, I don't think. He might end up running into traffic. No, he's going to be okay. Good, good, good. Lando's going to set a nice lap. Maybe a little toe off of Alonso on the way home there. Down the back straight, home straight. So
the rain's here.
The rain's here. So I'm now in big trouble. So that's another reason why to send your car out first, is Lando is now probably going to have the easiest pole position of his career, because no one else in the intermediates will be able to set a lap that fast. Max is going round. We'll see if he can do it. He's gone past Gasly on the home straight, catches Hamilton. This is not going to be good. Verstappen goes fourth. The top four...
Okay, that is the end of the race.
The top four almost guaranteed it. We might be able to send Max out on a fresh set of softs last on the grid. Lando's basically got it. This is perfect, actually, for the video, that the weather has been terrible. I'm going to send myself out last, and you'll see here, it could be even more valuable coming out right at the end here. We can see everyone else coming out of the pits. We are now going to send our driver, Max Verstappen, out. He should make the cut. He's last on track. These tyres are supposed to work at 1 mil or below. I think it's going to be too wet for the dries to take good effect. You can see that the session's just ended as we've got to turn 1. So coming out last is a massive help. Verstappen's actually last right now. I don't know if his tyres are going to pick up. No, they're not. He's come P10, so that's absolutely abysmal for us. But it just goes to show you, do keep an eye on the weather. That is ultra important. I forgot to mention it. So Lando going out first, got a lap time in. He was, what, 8/10 quicker than anybody else. Everyone else then had to do laps on intermediates. And yeah, they were just not as good. So hopefully this helps you with qualifying. Do make sure you click on that little graph. You can see exactly when the traffic is sort of predicted to be higher or lower. Again, I think it's pretty accurate. I've never really encountered it to be too bad. But do leave a thumbs up if that's helped you out. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Leave me some comments. How are you guys getting on in qualifying? Any surprising results? Let me know. I'll see you soon.